It's Cup semi-final day today, and can we make it to another final, albeit this time in Japan? Can we also make it to the Asian Champions League? And is it just possible that we could also still be in with a chance of winning the title? With just a few games left, it's all coming down to the wire once again. Let's go and kick some balls. Hello and welcome back to Rocking All Over the Globe, Part 11, Season 2, here at Hiroshima in Japan. And we are still on course to meet our goals this season, despite our form being a little bit dodgy of late. But at the moment, as you can see from the table, we still are in second place in the table. We've played 33 and we have 63 points. 4 points behind Kawasaki and 1 point ahead of Osaka in third. 2 points ahead of Yokohama in fourth. But the important thing is that we are 5 points ahead of Kobe in fifth. There are still 5 games left to go, 3 of which we should be able to get results from, 2 of which are much more difficult. And so there are 15 points on offer, and it is still possible that we could win the title in our first season here in Japan. Although don't hold your breath, because our form has not been great. And I put this down a little bit to endurance. It was a small squad when we took over, and we have increased the numbers in the squad since my arrival. But I think it's beginning to tell now, and results on the pitch have not been great. And if we have a look at what's happened since you were last here, not a lot has happened. You saw us being beaten by Osaka in the League Cup quarter-final. It was a 2-0 first leg defeat, followed by a 0-0 draw. And then we beat Urawa by a single goal to nil, and our form at that point was not really looking very good. We had to come back from a goal down against Shonan, a very poor team, to beat them at home by 4 goals to 1 eventually. But then against Kobe, a game we should have won, we only managed a 2-2 draw away and gave away a late goal. I think that endurance is becoming a little bit of a problem. I think we are struggling to see games out, and we are going to have to do a little bit of endurance work as we go into next season. We have 5 games to play in the league. 2 of them are extremely difficult, and 3 of them we should hopefully be able to get something from. Everything is still up to play for in terms of the J1 League. We even could still win the title. If we can put together a run of form, then it is just possible. We are also still in the Cup, and that is good news. We are in the semi-final, and we will play that semi-final today against Shimizu in the first game. And a win there will put us into our first final here in Japan. And then we will play in the league against Kashima. This is a very big game, and I would like to pick up the 3 points here today. This could put pressure on Kawasaki, who are at the top. We're 4 points behind. It would be great if we could close that to 2 points or even 1 point. But as you can see of late, our form has not been great. There's too many draws. That defeat against Osaka didn't help. And so we have to pick ourselves up. We have to strain every sinew and muscle as we come in towards the back end of the season, towards the business end. This is the most important part of the season, and this is where we need to perform. In terms of injuries, we have 2 players currently out. We have Notsuda out. He's been out for a few weeks. He's a very, very important player at DLP for me. He has a pulled abdominal muscle. He's expected to be out only for another day, so he may feature for 30 minutes in the Cup semi-final today. And the other player out is also a very important midfielder, Sachiro Toshima. He's out again with an abdominal strain. He is expected to be out for 1 to 4 days, not expected to feature in the Cup match. But hopefully both players should be back for the next game, the league game, which we really need the 3 points from. Taking a look at how the squad has performed this season, there have been some very, very good performances, and as you can see, there are 10 or 11 players who have performed particularly well and have got average ratings above 7. The top performer, if we forget Kawanami, who has just played 1 game in goal, the top performer is Makoto Mitsuta. He has played 37 games. He has an average of 7.34, and Piros has an average behind him of 7.24. If we look at the goal scorers, we can see why those 2 players have been playing particularly well. We have Piros, who has the most goals. He has 23 goals and 4 assists from his 30 appearances. And then Mitsuta has 18 goals and 10 assists from his 37 appearances. Lee Dong-gwon, the South Korean, he has played 36 times, has 9 goals, 9 assists for an average rating of 7.7. And then Ezequiel, he has chipped in with 31 appearances, 4 goals, 9 assists. He only has a rating of 6.95, but it's still been a very good season for him. And the top assists, of course, is going to be Mitsuda, who has 10 assists over the season. Lee Dong-gwon has 9 assists, and Ezequiel has 9 assists. It's been a very impressive season. We still have a lot of work to do. We are fading as the season progresses, and today is a big day. They're all big days now. As you know, as you come to the business end of the season, every game you play becomes a big game. Every point you play for becomes a huge point. We need to go and win these games now. We firstly need to get into the final of the All Japan Cup. What an achievement that will be for a club when we took over who were in 17th place. And then against Kashima in the league, 3 points will put us in a very good place in terms of qualifications for the Asian Champions League and also for our chances in terms of winning the title. I'll go and get the team ready now for the game against Shimizu in the Japan Cup semi-final. Let's go and kick some balls. And just before we go to the game, we have been given an announcement with regard to our new intake of youth players. And there are a few very, very good players, a couple of top talents around. One I particularly like to draw attention to. His name is Dai Hayashi. Sounds like a Welsh boy to begin with, Dai. And he is a 15-year-old. He has a first touch of 15, technique of 15. His passing is already 14. He's very brave, very determined, has very decent decision-making for his age. Natural fitness is very good, and he is looking to me like he's already on the way to becoming a very, very good player, and certainly one to keep an eye on. If we're going to be around at Hiroshima for a while, he's one to keep an eye on. He has the basics of becoming a very, very good deep-lying playmaker for us. So, looking forward to seeing how he develops. And so now, let's go and play the game in the cup. Let's go and kick some balls. And so the team for today in the cup semi-final against Shimizu is Nagashi in goal with Hera, Yokoyama, Ominami and King Young-min at the back, with Traore, Lee Dong-gwon and Ezequiel in midfield. Endo, Mitsuta and Tono will play up front. I did want to play Sutrio, but my assistant kept going on at me that I should be playing Tono up front. And maybe he's saying as Piros has been out of form, maybe he is telling me that it's time to give him a rest. There is going to be a little bit of an international break as well, and this will give him some time off. And maybe he is right. Maybe it is a chance for Tono to rest Piros, and we'll see what happens. We've got him on the bench, so we can always bring him on if necessary. And we are actually winning the game at the moment. We're dominating possession, and we're slightly the better team. We're a little bit less compact than we should be looking at the average positions on the map. We need to probably get a little bit closer together. But at the moment, time is just whizzing by and nothing has actually happened in this game. And as we come up to half-time, there hasn't been a single highlight. And I'm not very happy with the boys for creating nothing. And this has been a very, very poor performance. And is it heading to extra time? I wonder. I need you to go out and show why we are expected to win this, boys. And looking at Tono, 6.4, I'm wondering, was that the right decision? Is it ever wise to listen to your assistant manager? I do listen to him sometimes, but we have several players who are not playing well. And there's only been 2 shots in the entire game, and it's time to change that now, I think. And so I have made some changes now, and still only 2 shots in the entire game, 1 on target. It's not been a very good game. We have actually dominated the game. We've had all the match momentum. We've had most of the possession. And it does look to me like this is heading for extra time. But it is going to be Notsuda who has returned to the team. He has a free kick on the edge of the penalty area. Can we get a goal here from a set piece? Notsuda bends it to the far post, and it's saved by the goalkeeper. That is the first highlight of the game game. It's come in the 78th minute, and what a dire match this has been so far. And we're going to have another highlight. We're going to have a highlight from a set piece. Can we get a goal? So far, our shots on target ratio is 100%. And so it would be nice to see a goal going in before the end. We're going to get a third highlight from a set piece. Can we get another shot on target? Test the goalkeeper. There's been very, very few attempts on goal, and we still can't get on the end of it. And here's Mitsuda again back in the team, but it comes to nothing. There's only been 3 shots in the entire football match, and we've had 4 now, and it is 3 for us and 1 for the opposition, and it's been an absolutely dreadful game. And here is Piros looking for Hera with the ball through the middle, finds Mitsuta has been bundled over, and the referee is going to give a penalty. He's checking for a penalty in the 91st minute. Are we going to steal this very odd game in looking at possible injury to I think it's Piros, but it is going to be Piros, I hope, stepping up to take this penalty. And Piros with the penalty. He's put it into the top corner. We've got a goal ahead. I'm going to come back to balanced now, and I'll try and hold on to this. It is Hiroshima 1. We are 1-0 ahead. I don't believe it. And, oh boy, we are looking as if we could go through. What an absolutely dreadful game. And it's finally over. Hiroshima 1, Shimizu 0. It was the strangest of all the games. Only 5 shots on goal in the entire game. But congratulations, boys, for reaching the final. They're a tired team, but we've got to the final. Part 1 is done today. We have to go and build on that now. There is going to be a little break, I believe. There's going to be a break of a couple of weeks. No, in fact, yes, in fact, there's going to be a break of a couple of weeks. And so we're going to rest the team. There's not many players away on international duty. We are now going to rest the team for a couple of weeks. We'll rest the players, and then we'll come back for the game against Kashima in the league. And let's hope we can get the 3 points. It's a really important 3 points we're playing for. Don't go away. We'll be right back just before the kickoff. And so despite having a temporary injury crisis for a fortnight where all of my players seemed to get injured, luckily most of them were injured at the beginning of the 2-week break and have returned. We've still got a number of players who are not yet fit, and Sutrio and Toshima are examples of those two. And the team for today then is Gu Sung-yun in goal, with Matsuda, Fuji, Nduka, Sichi at the back, with Natsuda, Traore and Lee Dongguang in midfield, with Endo, Mitsuta and Ezequiel up front. I think I am going to swap Gu Sung-young over for Nagoshi, who is of course our first team goalkeeper, and now we will go and play the game. And hopefully, even Natsuda got injured, he's not 100% fit, but hopefully we'll do enough to win this game. It's getting harder and harder to keep players fit. It's getting harder and harder to keep them motivated. It's getting harder to get points and wins on the board. And so the game begins, and hopefully we will do a good job here today. I really want the 3 points here today. It's going to get harder as we go into the last 4 fixtures of the season. We are in the cup final. We've done the first part of what we needed to do, but it is going to be Kashmami. I can't even say the name of the team. My nerves are completely shot. Kashima, who are playing the better football at the moment. We've had the better of the game, but they are creating the better chances, and they will score unless I do something. But there's a header out. Can we counter-attack? Here is Ezequiel, who's not played for a while, and good to see him back in the team. He's been through injury after injury. He finds Natsuda looking all the way over for Lee Dongguang. I'm going to play a little bit narrower. I just fancy that our passing is not reaching their men, so I'm going to ask them to play a little bit narrower, and which might help with our very short passing game. And here is Fuji at the back, and as as you can see, the passing and the tempo are very slow. And so if we play a little bit narrower, hopefully that will help us to hold on to possession. And here's Endo. Endo is looking for Unduka, who's come back into the side. And here's Notsuda. Notsuda finds Mitsuta. Mitsuta, can he find a pass? This is a lovely football. We are in and we're going to score, and we're a goal up. It's Hiroshima 1, Kashima 0. And what a lovely goal. The referee's going to check with VAR. He might have been offside. I've got a funny feeling he was onside. I'll be a little bit disappointed if it's not given. It was lovely football. The goal has been disallowed. That was beautiful football, and we've just been given offside. And that's just unfortunate. But are we going to get another 0-0 draw? This is a team that really has too many draws, and we have to do something about that in the transfer window. We don't create enough chances, basically. And when we do create, the chances we do create, we don't take. And that's a good take by Nagoshi. I'm going to demand more from this team. They're not playing particularly well at the moment. And here is Shichi. It looks all a bit lethargic. And in the second half, maybe what we might have to do is up the tempo a little bit. Here is Matsuda. Matsuda at fullback. He looks for Mitsuta. Mitsuta, he finds Lee Dongwon. Lee Dongwon, beautiful pass to Mitsuta. Can he get across into the box? He's gone for the effort himself and fires it wide. And it's not going to go in for us. And that was a big sprint by Mitsuta. And he is going to take the corner, but we're not going to get to see the corner. We have got a 50% shots on target. It's not good enough. We're not scoring enough goals, and it's the sign of the times. And although we're dominating the game, we're just simply not scoring enough goals. And I got to tell them, this is not acceptable. It's not good enough. And again, up front, we're not playing very well. And we have Fuji, who's not playing very well, and Ezekiel, who's not playing very well. We need to tell them both, this is not good enough. And I am going to tell them, you have not been good enough. Get your act together. I think what I might do is up the tempo for the second half. I can't think of anything else that I can do. The passing was perhaps looking a little bit slack. Looking a little lethargic possibly, so I'm going to up the tempo for the second half. I really can't think of anything else I can do. We've dominated the game. We've just been poor, basically. And here is Mitsuta breaking forward. Can he get into the box? Yes, he can. He goes for a shot. He should have looked inside. It is going to be another corner. And we are pressing and pressing and pressing, but we cannot get the breakthrough. It's Kashima 0, Hiroshima 0. And there is a corner to the near post. We have not been very good at set pieces. Probably need a new set piece coach, and probably need to add to the routines that we have. And I think it's time to make some changes now. We have just simply not been good enough. And so we have made some changes, and we've changed the role of some of the players to a more attacking role, and hopefully we're going to create some more chances. We only need to take one, but at the moment we don't look like we're capable of scoring. But here's Lee Dongwon. He's becoming much more of a threat, and we have scored. The linesman's flag is up again. Is it being checked? I'm not sure it is. I think it's going to count, and we have scored. And finally, we have broken the deadlock. It's Hiroshima 1, Kashima 0. I'm wondering, should I do anything? I'm going to go back to positive now. I'm going to leave the role changes as they were. It's either the substitutions that have made the difference or the little tweaks that we've made. And at the moment, if we look at the table, we are 3 points now behind Kawasaki. I've got one more change to make. I'll go and make that now. And so I have made one more change. I do have a player playing out of position now. A couple of players playing out of position. And this game is not over yet. And it does look like we are going to have an equaliser before the day is out. As it's going to be a corner. It's nicely taken. Comes back out to the corner taker. We've got to clear this. They are playing us around. They have scored. The equaliser was coming. I knew it. And that's unfortunate, but that's football. And it's not been a very good performance. And I'm annoyed with them. I'm going to go back to attacking now. I think that we're just too tired. I think that they don't have the ability to see a full season out. And this set piece, they were just messing us around. You could see the goal coming. And FM is quite predictable at times. And now we are going to go back to, unfortunately, we failed to make up the ground on the leaders, because they must have lost as well. And we should have won that game. I'm very disappointed with the team. But we're just simply not strong enough. And we've gone down to third now. We are 6 points behind. And it's not acceptable. We have to win our next 3 games before we come back for the final game of the season. I think the title just died in that game. With the other 2 teams winning, it's just not going to happen now. It's very sad, but we still have to go on and play for the Champions League place. Again, another draw. Our poor form continues. And as we come into these 3 very, very big games, Shimizu, Osaka and Osaka, we've got to get something out of those. If we can win all 3, we're back in it. But I don't see it. Our form is not good enough. And we are not good enough as a team. We're not scoring goals. End of story. And that's it for this episode. If you are brand new to the channel and you like FM content and you love to see people suffer playing this game, well, I'm suffering now. Suffering big time. We can't win games. We're struggling to score goals. If that's you, then why not? Subscribe, like, watch and comment. Help the channel to grow. Do all that good stuff. Help us to support the very good work of the British Heart Foundation. Everything was looking good until we lost in the League Cup quarter-final against Osaka. Our form since then has been very poor. It's been patchy. We can't score enough goals. We're drawing too many games, and it's not good enough. And it's very disappointing that the title chance has probably gone. We'll come back for the final game of the season against Yokohama, and then we will play the final of the All Japan Cup against Kawasaki. I wonder where we'll be by then. Will we have fallen apart completely? Or will we be back in it with a chance? All that remains to be said now is stay safe, take care, and we'll see you in the next episode.